Hey everyone, welcome to Courtside Conversations. My name's Emile, founder and owner of Little Boomers Basketball, and it's a pleasure to be your host today. Wherever you're watching today's episode, I hope you're having a booming day, and yes, the pun is intended. My journey to entrepreneurship started on May 1st, 2018 when I launched my first basketball program with 9 kids enrolled. Today, thousands of kids across Australia are thriving in our programs, all thanks to the commitment and passion of our incredible franchisees. This podcast is here to give you real, straightforward, no BS insights into business, entrepreneurship, and what it's like to own a franchise. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Hey everyone, Emile from Little Boomers Basketball. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. We have a lovely family that I would like to introduce you to, and we've even got the little baby on camera today, so it's a whole production line. What was your name?
I'm Dixie.
Dixie, and your name?
Christian.
And what is their name?
Zoe.
Zoe. So we welcome Dixie and Christian, our new franchise partners that will be launching in Mount Druitt. Very exciting. We've had so much demand for Mount Druitt. The last 2 years, there have been a lot of parents, when are you opening in Mount Druitt? When are you opening in Mount Druitt? Do you offer any classes in Mount Druitt? And we're excited to say we've got our lovely franchise partners, Dixie and Christian, taking over Mount Druitt. Now, before we get into your franchise journey with Little Boomers, Dixie and Christian, give us a little bit of a background about yourself and your family and a little bit about what you do. Dixie, we'll start with you.
Yeah. So I'm actually a registered nurse. I work in endoscopy center for over 6 years now.
6 years as a
yes,
nurse?
As a nurse, yes. And
Christian?
Yeah, I'm Christian and we live in Philippines. Mm-hmm. And I'm working as a technician in R2P Asia Pacific in a railway, like a railway site station.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a technician and we've got somebody that's been a nurse for 6 years, which is lovely. Yes. And you have a family, which is really nice. So when you first saw the Facebook ad or that we're advertising for franchisees in Mount Druitt, a nurse and a technician, how did it come about owning a kids basketball franchise with Little Boomers? What appealed to you about it?
Actually, it came across to me when I was just browsing the Facebook while I'm on maternity leave. In the middle of the night, so I was just browsing Facebook.
Ads in the middle of the night going 24/7.
That's right. Because to be honest, during that maternity leave, I want to have more flexibility in my hours. So in both our hours. So yeah, so lucky enough. So while browsing the Facebook, so I saw this basketball franchise, and I immediately informed Christian because he has a passion for basketball.
Okay, and Christian, how about yourself? So Dixie, I just want to talk about something you mentioned. You talked about flexibility.
Yes.
So before you were looking for an opportunity, flexibility was important, especially since you're a mother and you've got family commitments. Talk to us a little bit more. What flexibility were you referring to? I think maybe just put the mic a little bit closer, but what flexibility were you looking for?
Yeah, because in our department, I work 9 to 5 or sometimes it's even long hours, 10-hour shift. So with these 2 kids, I'm looking for more flexibility, more of work-life balance, because it's only Monday to Friday you're working,
Gets a bit too much to grind.
So so I just realized having the second one, we need more work-life balance and more flexibility in our family.
100%.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you, and that's a good thing about this opportunity. It gives you that flexibility where you're not tied down to a 9 to 5 job.
That's right.
Now, okay, so you saw the Facebook ad at midnight. All right, you saw the Facebook ad, it got you excited. What did you then say to Christian?
So I just screenshot the ad and then send it to him. And then since I know that he has a passion for basketball and he used to play basketball when he was a lot slimmer.
Let's put the mic to you, Christian. Tell us, you've got a basketball experience. What was your initial impression when Dixie sent you the screenshot of this franchise opportunity?
To be honest, actually, I don't have any idea about that business.
Yeah.
Because-
You're like, what's going on? What's this?
So what we gonna do? How we going to start it?
Yeah.
And then after I check all the ads and all the Instagrams and Facebook, then I get to have the idea.
And then remember what's this? The download, what's that? The
Oh, the
footprint,
franchise pack. Yeah. Full proof.
franchise
Yeah.
pack.
Yeah.
the blueprints.
And all of your reels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
They have that. So and also growing up in the Philippines with a lot of court on the street,
Yeah.
playing basketball on the street.
Big basketball fans in the
Yeah,
Philippines. There's
especially
games going on every block, I hear.
Yeah, and also I play basketball since I was a kid, like 7. Yeah,
7 years.
but not the proper basketball. They're just learning from the street.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't have any idea how it started. But
Yeah.
when Dixie showed it to me, everything, I get very curious about
Curious,
this
yeah, a bit of
business.
excited, yeah. So Christian, you're obviously a big basketball fan. You played it in the Philippines. You're playing it now. I think you said you're in a social competition. Are you in a social comp right now?
Yes.
So you're around basketball.
Yeah.
So was it the fact that you can own a business that is directly correlated to your passion? Was that what interests you the most to take that next step and book a phone call with me?
Yes, actually, definitely, because I think the one key to your business to be success is you have the passion to it, you love it, and you give your time. Actually, that what they say, you need to have when you start the business, you should have number one is the key to be success. The business
Passion,
is
100%.
passion, the one that you love to do, and then that you're not too like you're dragging yourself to do this one, and then you wait for your monthly salary, something like that.
I agree with you, Christian, and I've always said to anybody that's interested in starting their own business, whether it's a Little Boomers franchise or another franchise or even a different business, you've got to have a passion or an interest in the type of work you're doing, because if you have a passion, it's going to allow you to get through the tough times. When tough times happen in a business, if you don't have a passion, you're probably going to call it quits. It's going to be hard to be resilient. But when you got that fuel, when you actually enjoy what you're doing and the service that you're delivering to your community, you're in it for the long run, and that's how you get through those tough times. So I'm really glad that you had that passion and that you took that next step and booked the phone call, because a lot of people watching this video have that same passion. They love sports. They might play basketball. They might just love sports. They love coaching. They love working with kids, but they're a little bit hesitant about booking a phone call, because with running any business, everybody gets a bit scary. There's an investment.
Yep.
What if it fails? All those other questions. So let's talk about the initial visit. You came down. You visited our flagship location in Riverwood. You met myself and Mary, and that was the first time that you were courtside at one of our Little Boomers classes.
Yeah.
What was your initial impression when you came down for that visit, Dixie?
Actually, the first interaction is with Mary during I think holiday program.
At the holiday program.
Yeah, so that was our first interaction with Mary. That was actually impressive.
What did you find impressive about it?
I think the program is organized, and then most of the kids, although because it's a holiday program, I think most of the kids have uniforms, and and the coaches looks very professional. They look very very trained. So and then Mary was very accommodative.
Shout out to Mary.
Yeah, so I feel very warm for her accommodation, because he gave even jersey and basketball.
Yeah, the little one walked away with a special gift.
Even for the first meeting. So that was really very impressive and warm.
Hey, just quickly, if you're enjoying today's episode, it will mean the world to me if you can leave a positive review or share it with a friend that may benefit from this. I've also put some bonus resources in the description, including a real franchise case study that you can download under our Franchise Success Blueprint. Hope you find it useful. Enjoy the rest of the episode and rock on. Adios.
Yeah.
So when you arrived, you felt a bit of a warm connection between us.
Yes,
I'm glad you feel that way, because we are a
Yes.
Boomers family, and
Yes.
we like to take care of everybody coming into the business, and
Yeah.
that's part of the reason why people join us, is they feel like they're joining a family.
That's right,
And
yes.
it's not like I'm going to be alone or
Yes.
I'm going to be by myself when I'm doing this business. So Christian, what was your first impressions when you visited us at the holiday camps at Riverwood?
Oh, actually, the first thing that I saw is like the organized
Structured,
program. Was all on the, like, you having a system to do.
Yeah,
and then
system, a way of doing
to
things.
follow.
Yeah.
And then also the kids is enjoy what they going to learn about the basketball, and then very organized and very professional.
Awesome. That's one of the main things, is the structure of the class, because parents, you're a parent yourself.
Yes.
It's important that any sports program is structured, because that's what kids love, that structure.
Yeah.
That's where they get the discipline from. So you had a great first impression. You then went home. What was a conversation like when you were at home after that first visit?
Yeah, so after that visit, we actually I actually asked him if we really need to do we want to push this
Are
business.
you committed? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we really are we willing to give our time? And but for me, I'm just asking his opinion. But for me myself, I really wanted to. I'm really keen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it has to be a mutual agreement.
Of
so
course.
I have to ask my husband, and he agreed. And then we were actually quite nervous because Mary told us that there are so many interested with this franchise, but not all of
Only
them.
few.
Yeah, only few will be chosen.
Yeah. So
that one makes us a bit nervous, actually.
And the reason why that is, Dixie, I think Mary explained, is because we have a criteria that we look for in
That's
our
right.
franchisees.
Yeah.
We don't just accept anybody that's got the financial commitment,
Yeah.
because as you can imagine, there's a certain characteristic trait and personality trait that each franchisee has to have.
Yeah.
And we hold that to the utmost importance.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Mary was open and honest with you to
Yes.
say we don't accept. We actually had to knock back 3 people last week because we didn't feel like they were going to be a good candidate as a franchisee. So
Yeah.
that got you a little bit nervous.
Yes, that one makes us a little bit nervous because that time we don't have the financial capacity to put up the amount if we will really to push through this business.
The full investment.
Yes, that's right. So we were very nervous, but then I told my husband, if this is for us, if God's willing, it will be given to us and God will provide.
100%. I really agree with you. And Dixie, tell me, this is a big investment, not financially as well, but also time.
Yes.
I like to see it as a marriage. You're coming into a marriage. You are taking on a business. It's almost like having a new child. There's a commitment. There's a responsibility. There's going to be hurdles. There's going to be ups and downs. It's a big commitment coming into a franchisee. So it's very common for people to get nervous, right? Especially before the franchise agreement has been signed. A lot of people get nervous about this. I'd like to ask you, for you, how did you overcome those nerves and said, you know what, I want to take Mount Druitt and I want to own a Little Boomers franchise in Mount Druitt. How did you overcome that nervous? What made you want to overcome that nervousness and jump in and say, you know what, let's do it?
The reason why we really pushed through this decision is because during those, stages of meet-up, we find ourselves very comfortable.
Yeah.
As the day goes by, during our, how many meetups do we have already? I think this is the
fifth one.
the
Yeah, fifth one.
already.
Yeah.
So even during the second time, third time, we feel very comfortable already. And
Why do you think you feel comfortable? Why do you feel like you feel comfortable jumping into our network, joining our network?
Yeah, because like I said, it's the program, the business model itself is very structured. And then it is branded,
Basketballs, training kits, it's all branded.
And I feel like you as an owner, you already done your hard work. You've
Yeah.
done all the hard work for this
Yeah.
business. Yeah, so I know this kind of business model will be reliable, and yeah, we feel comfortable.
And you don't feel like you're starting a complete business from scratch,
That's
right?
right,
Because
yes.
imagine if you were to start your own basketball program in Mount Druitt, you'd need to come up with a session plan.
Yeah.
You'd have to build a website. You'd
Yeah.
have to find out how to find coaches.
Yeah.
And you've got all of these hurdles. Like you said, coming into our franchise, everything's been already done for you.
Yeah.
We've got a website that
Yes.
allows you to get bookings from your families.
Yeah.
We've got a way of marketing to fill up your classes.
That's
We've got a
right.
structured program on an app, all of that you get to take advantage
Yes,
of.
yeah.
So I think that's a big plus.
Yes.
And would you say that you feel like you're going to get the support that you need to succeed as a franchisee?
Yes, yep, exactly. Yep, that's what we were thinking about. This business model is already structured, is already reliable and organized. So I'm sure, yeah, they will be very supportive to us.
Lovely. That's
Yeah.
really good. Now, the last question I would like to ask you, from 5 years from now, it's 2024, let's pretend it's 2029. You've been running your Little Boomers franchise in Mount Druitt for 5 years now, and it's 2029. Put yourself 5 years ahead of time. How do you envision your Little Boomers franchise in Mount Druitt? How many kids? Coaches, locations? Be specific as possible. How do you envision 5 years from now your Little Boomers franchise in Mount Druitt to be?
I think it's gonna be a big boom.
A big boomer.
Big boom, yes. Because I can envision, because in our area itself there is new suburb, new young families, that we want to influence to. Yep. So yeah, I think 5 years from now, I can see that this business is gonna be a big boom.
How many kids do you envision in your program after 5 years?
200.
200 kids a week. Very nice. Christian, you'll be one of the head coaches for the program.
Yeah.
What do you envision your Little Boomers franchise in Mount Druitt to be 5 years from now? Let's put the mic to Christian. What do you envision?
Actually, I'm looking if we're going to do every day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because after 5 years, maybe 10 something.
10 coaches under you?
Yeah.
10 coaches,
Wow.
200 kids. Awesome. Do you envision delivering a quality service
Of course.
to the families in Mount Druitt? Do you
Of
want to build a
course.
community?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course,
And
yes.
also- And also the one that I think is about how we give impact to the
Impact.
young ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What impact do you make?
I think it's not about the basketball that we teach to them. It's also how become responsible, how become
Discipline.
disciplined to yourself, and everything that we can provide as a coach. It's not like how we become like a sportsmanship, not
Yeah.
only for basketball, but
Yeah.
in your
Life skills.
in your daily life routine, something like that.
Awesome. That's really good to hear. Dixie and Christian, thank you so much for joining me. We wish you the best on your success in the next 5 years
Yeah.
as the franchise owners for Mount Druitt. It's going to be a roller coaster of a ride. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs, but the main thing is we're up there. We're there to celebrate the highs with you, and we're there to celebrate the downs with you. So we wish you all the best from the Little Boomers family and everybody watching this channel. Dixie and Christian, thank you very much. Congratulations
you.
again.
Thank you.
And we're finished.